Hey everyone, Jeff here, also known as the Revit Kid. Today I have a cool tutorial for you that has to do with filtering walls by Revit. This is just one of those things that Revit doesn't allow you to do that we kind of need to create a workaround for. And so in my membership group, which is called the BIM After Dark community, if you're interested, check it out at community.bimafterdark.com. We have courses, we have discussions, we have live events, we have all kinds of great stuff, including sample files, so definitely check them out. But this was a question that came up during some discussions there. And basically, the idea is if I want to use a Revit graphical filter, like maybe turning walls off or changing the color of them based on the level they are placed on, there is no way to do that in the default out-of-the-box Revit. So what I'm going to show you is a really cool workaround that teaches you a couple things from Dynamo to global parameters to filters. So enjoy the content today. Before we actually jump in, I did want to mention that this video is sponsored by RevitFamily.biz. For those of you not familiar, RevitFamily.biz is a company that creates Revit content. More specifically, they create content for residential design. This content is really neat. There are cabinets, interior doors, exterior doors, and windows. Very specific, but each of them actually have styles. So if you are designing a craftsman house, you can actually buy a package with the windows, the craftsman style cabinets, craftsman style interior doors, and craftsman style exterior doors. So there's 4 unique styles. Every family is fully parametric. The lines are extensive, extremely easy to use, and they look great in both elevation and section and floor plans and 3Ds. So head on over to revitfamily.biz, that's revitfamily.biz, and make sure you use the offer code TheRevitKid21 in order to save 30% off, which is pretty awesome. Brenton, who created the families and the company, is an awesome dude, and any questions you have, you can reach out to him. But again, that's revitfamily.biz, and the offer code is TheRevitKid21. So thanks for sponsoring this video, and with that, let's jump into the content. We're going to talk about filtering walls by level. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so here we have a model. It's a simple model. I didn't want it to be too complicated for the sake of what it is that we're talking about today. And there's walls. Go figure. So if I select these walls here, you could see these walls are hosted on level 2. These walls here, if I select them, they're hosted on level 1. See their base constraint. So if I wanted to color the level 2 or filter the level 2, I'm going to go to Visibility Graphics. I'm going to go to Filters. And let's say I wanted to change the level 2 walls to be orange. Notice how they're not orange here. If I go to Edit New and I go to Create a Filter for Walls, you'll notice if I scroll down here, I don't have the ability to use the level, the host, the base, or anything that references what level these walls are on. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a parameter in order to use for that filter. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a parameter, and then we can actually filter by that parameter. The second thing we're going to do is we're actually going to use Dynamo to push the real level of that wall into that parameter. So in theory, you're not sitting there and clicking around and actually manually inputting the level. So first, let's create the parameter. So I'm going to go to Project Parameters. I'm going to say Add, and I'm going to call this one Wall Level Filter. I'm going to make this an instance parameter. I'm going to make it a text parameter. And then I'm just going to assign it to walls. Obviously, if you want to do different things, you can, but I'm just going to assign it to the walls category type. I'm going to click OK. Anyone who's not used a global or a project parameter, what's happening here is now throughout the project itself, anything that's a wall. So if I select this wall, you'll notice right here under text, it says Wall Level Filter. So now you have a text parameter that you can manually filter in. So what can I do now? Well, if I wanted to, I can actually just tab and select, and I can say, I want these to be level 2. Right? So I just typed in the word level 2. So just in general, how does that work? If I go to filters, VG on my keyboard, and now my filter, I can say edit new. I'll go down to walls. I can actually filter by that parameter. And that parameter is called wall level filter. See this? So I can say wall level filter equals level 2. Click apply, click OK. And click OK. So now I'm gonna remove these filters because they're causing issues from before. I'm gonna click add. I'm gonna create a new filter. So you can see how I do it. I started from scratch. I just say new filter. I'm gonna call this level 2 new. The old filters are kind of messing with it, which is fine. I'm gonna go down to walls and check the box, and I'm gonna say walls, so wall level filter equals level 2. And click apply, click OK. I'm going to add this wall level 2 new. You can see there it is there. Now I'm just going to change the surface pattern for now. So let's just change the surface pattern to solid and pink. Ta-da! Now these are pink, right? So now if I make the same filter for level 1, so first let's assign one of these level 1s. I'm going to select this guy here, and I'm just going to type level 1. Now I'm going to create the same filter, so I'm going to go to filters, I'm going to go to click add, edit new. I'm just going to duplicate my level 2 new one. I'm going to call it level 1 new. Level 1 new. Click OK. And now I'm just going to change this to level 1. So wall level filter equals level 1. Click apply, click OK, click OK. Oops, I didn't add it. Let me add it there. Level 1, click OK. And now I'm going to change the override for this. Let's make it orange and solid. Click apply, click OK. All right, sweet. So now we're filtering walls by level. We can turn them on, we can turn them off. The difference or the problem right now is I manually input those levels, right? You don't want to manually input. This is a very simple project, but you don't want to manually input the levels. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to automatically do it. So first, let me just remove the value for these. So I'm just going to remove level 2 from this one. I'm just going to remove level 1 from this one. So now they're empty again. So if this was a larger project, obviously this would be a much bigger ordeal. So this is where Dynamo comes into play. So I'm going to open Dynamo. I'm going to create a new script, set this to manual. And now we're going to quickly build our script. The cool thing about this is this is all out of the box nodes. This is something that you can create right now without installing any packages. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our walls, right? So what do we need to do if we typically what we're doing when we're using Dynamo, if you've seen any of my content, is we're trying to basically repeat, especially for automation, we're trying to repeat what it is that we're doing with a mouse. So what are we doing with a mouse? The first thing we did is we selected all the walls, right? So that's what we need to do now is we need to select all the walls. So there's lots of ways to select walls, and so I'm not going to go down that road, but I'm going to pick one right now that's the easiest, which is selecting the categories. So I'm going to search for categories, and I'm going to select walls, and then I can use all elements of category, which is a selection option. And what this does is it actually selects all of the walls in the entire project. So if I ran this right now, and I look down here, you can see it's selecting all the walls. So that's what we did. The first thing we do is select all the walls. What's the next thing we need to do? Well, the next thing we do is we actually selected the walls. We went down here and we typed in level 2, for example. But why did we know to type level 2? Well, if I go up here, I know the base constraint of this wall is level 2. So in theory, we actually looked at the base constraint first, then we typed in what it actually was in the new parameter. Okay, so now what we need Dynamo to do is we need Dynamo to look for that value, the base constraint value. So what we're going to use is what's called get parameter value by name. Okay, so now we plug in element to element. Now we're searching our walls for a specific value. We're searching for what level these walls are on. So I'm going to double click in here to make a string, and I'm going to call this one base, oops, let me try that again, base constraint, right? Because that's the name of the parameter that we're searching in Revit. Now if I click run, check this out. We have a list that shows level 1, level 1, level 1, level 1, level 2, level 2. So now we have a list of the levels that all these walls are in from this original list. So now the next step is what? The next step was actually placing the level names into our new parameter, which is called wall level filter. Okay, so let's do that, right? When you think about the steps, it was select it, look at it, and then place the parameter in there. So in order to place a parameter, we use get parameter value by name to extract or view a parameter. Now we're actually going to place it. So we use set parameter value by name, or set parameter by name is the actual node. So the elements are easy. The elements are the walls, right? The parameter name, we know because we created it. It's actually called wall. Oops. Let me double click here. Wall level filter, right? We created that ourselves, so we know the name of that. I'm going to put it up here. Now here's where it's interesting. So by default, you're going to think, oh, let me plug in value to value, right? We know the level. The problem is if I click run, it's not going to work. And that's just a Dynamo thing. What's coming out of here, if you remember that list I just showed you, it's actually, you're getting more information with levels than you used to. You're getting the name of the level, which is 1, and then you're also getting the elevation. So now Revit's saying, well, why are you putting a name and an elevation in my properties? That's silly. So what we need to do is we need to use one more node, which extracts just the name from the level element. So I'm going to look for level name. Oh, sorry, it's level dot name. So level dot name is the name of the node. Now, if I run this here, you'll see instead of a list of levels and elevations, I just have a list of the actual names of the levels. So that's just one little node that will trip you up if you don't pay attention to it. So now if we look at this guy, and I was to run this, let me zoom out a little bit. Now if I click run, ta-da! There we have it. Now, all of these walls will have whatever level they are drawn on, placed in there. So there you have it. It's not perfect, but it's a nice way to be able to work around. If you really need to filter your walls by whatever level or base constraint they're on, this is the process. The process is creating a parameter to plug into. You could use comments, you could use description, whatever, but I would suggest creating a parameter for this situation, mainly because someone can override the comments pretty easily, whereas if you create a parameter, they may not. And then using Dynamo to push the information, what level is it on, push it to that parameter, and then you've got whatever you want. Now you have a filterable text parameter that you can do whatever you want with. So awesome. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure you comment below or give me a like and let me know. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel here on YouTube. And hit the notification bell because I do go live and we have some awesome shows. Thank you for joining me again today. Thank you to RevitFamily.biz for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys soon.